Hello everyone, it's me Jessie with Pampered Chef bringing you all things fun and foodie from right here in my kitchen. Tonight I decided to hop on and make some tom kai soup in the quick cooker, which is super fast and easy. And I'm also going to be making a taffy apple or caramel apple pizza. Both are super easy, and let's get started. So I'm utilizing the counter on this side and the one behind me tonight. So let's see if I can do this. All right, let's get started with our quick cooker soup. It all starts on the saute mode in the quick cooker. And I hope you can see that. I'm gonna try not to all make you seasick by me moving this around. I'm gonna put this on sear. I'm not gonna need it for 20 minutes on sear. I'm just gonna get it started with a splash of garlic canola oil. You can use regular canola oil, but I happen to like the garlic flavor. I think it just adds a little something else, and I don't have to cut up any garlic. And then we are going to get started using the Rapid Prep mandolin, which if you have not seen this thing yet, it is like my new favorite tool ever. I love it so much. I had other mandolins in the past, and I always thought, oh, I'll use them, but I never did because I was always afraid I would cut myself, because if you don't know, I'm extremely accident prone. So this makes cutting up things very quickly and easily, and it makes it safe because the blade is all contained in here, and I'm gonna release it like this, and I have a hopper to push the food in and chop all the food up, and the food falls back in here, and I will never have to touch the blade or go anywhere near the blade. And then what I also like about this, and I'll show you how to store it later, is it has a ton of settings. So tonight we're gonna be chopping up a couple of red peppers, some jalapeno, and some onion on dice so that it can go in the quick cooker for our soup. So I'm just gonna put it on, I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's like a little julienne mode, and then I'm gonna put it down here on number 4. So we'll check that out and see how it works. And try not to hit yourself in the face. This has non-skid feet on it, so it's not gonna really move around a whole lot. Oh, and while I'm chopping everything up, I have 2 cups approximately of just some already sliced mushrooms. This is a Thai soup. It's very similar to tom yum soup, which is a clear broth with mushrooms and like lime, and it's super, super yummy. But Kai has coconut in it, so I'm using coconut milk. And I don't like mushrooms normally, but I like them in this. I like the flavor of mushrooms. So I'm just gonna dump these already sliced mushrooms that I rinsed off in this colander into the quick cooker to start searing, just to get a little of that moisture out while I chop up the peppers and the onions for the rest of the soup. All right. So I have sliced cleaned pepper already because we eat kind of a lot of pepper, and I always seem to have it already in my house. So I'm gonna put this so you can see it and try to cut it backwards. So you just push down on the hopper and it feeds right in to here. Just so amazing. Like, look how fast it chopped up this pepper. It's so awesome. So you can make, like I said, this has so many different settings on it. You can make hash browns using this thing, which I do frequently. You can make the most perfect shredders for tacos. You can do hash browns in here. You can make perfect slices of, you know, potatoes for a gratin or radishes. Like, I don't know how I didn't have this thing before. It's seriously one of the best things I've ever bought. And it is dishwasher safe, but I have never once put it in the dishwasher. I always hand wash it because it's super easy to wash, and then I just let it air dry right on the counter. So, oh, this is a big old onion, so we're gonna have to cut this into a quarter. But that's okay. All right. Shove that in there. And just chop this all right on top. See, look at that. Can you guys see? Awesome, right? And if you lay a carrot stick right here, can you see? Or a potato right here, it has a French fry cut, And then you can make perfect carrot sticks and perfect French fries, zucchini fries. It cuts them long ways and makes nice fat, nice fat square cut. So there we go. 1 onion and an entire pepper in like a minute. So we're good to go on our vegetables. Oh, except for jalapeno. We do need to do 1 jalapeno for this. We like things with a little kick. So I'm gonna add a little jalapeno to the mix. All right, there we go. I can smell the mushrooms cooking, so I'm gonna give them a little zhuzh. And then I'm just gonna take these, I'm gonna move you over. There we go. And just add in the, where did I put my spoon? Oh, I already put it right there. In these peppers and onions that are already diced right into the quick cooker. Kind of stir them up. They're gonna wanna cook for a minute or two, just to kind of soften a little tiny bit. Whew, onions in my eyes. I was probably blocking you, wasn't I? I'm sorry. I'm not used to cooking on this side of the counter with the camera. I apologize. I will try to do better when I turn the camera back around in a second. All right, so I just wanted to show you a couple of other things with the mandolin. I'm not gonna clean it just yet. This does come on and off very easily with just the touch of a button. And then this stores, the hopper stores inside of the, can't think of what this is called right now, but in there. And then you lock the blade down by turning the handle, and then it all shuts in here. So it's all contained. Nothing's going to cut you. And then this folds down. We missed a couple pieces of jalapeno in there. Don't want to do that. And then this all stores in one piece. So it stores and it locks. And then it goes just like this in your cupboard. So it stores nice and easy. And you can even stick stuff in here as well if you would like to. All right, I'm gonna put that off to the side. And I guess I need a piece of paper towel because I got some pepper juice on my counter. And we don't want that getting mixed in with our apples. Okay, so just gonna let this cook for 1 second more while we add the rest of our seasonings into our soup. We need a splash of soy sauce, about 2 tablespoons. No, I am not measuring. And let's turn you this way so you can see. A couple tablespoons of that. I like to make this a little spicy. I already said that before. I don't have any red chili paste, which would be fabulous in this soup, so I'm just using some sambal. A little bit. No, I'm not measuring. Just gonna add that in, and then we need some fresh ginger. So I keep ginger, along with 1,000 other things, in the freezer, because I think your freezer is like a pantry, and anything that's going to go bad or you want to save, any little loaf of bread or little bit of sauce, I pop in there and I label it. Painter's tape and Sharpie marker. Always keep that in the kitchen. It makes everything easier. And then I keep it in there for when, because you never know when you're gonna need it. But anyway, fresh ginger, wash it, throw it in a baggie, keep it in the freezer. I don't even peel it. And I get my grater out, and I'm just gonna grate some ginger, a couple of tablespoons or teaspoons, just right into the quick cooker with the vegetables. Not a ton. And then I just put this right back into my bag and pop it right back in the freezer. Because ginger spoils pretty quickly, and when you keep it in the freezer, it's easy to cut and you don't have to worry about it going bad. Also, like down here in Florida, you can plant a little nub of ginger and it will grow a plant. And then when it blooms, you know you have ginger root, and you can dig it up and you can have fresh ginger of your own. So it's kind of like a never-ending source of deliciousness. I bought a bunch last year and when I couldn't get it in the grocery store, and I started growing it and then making sure I always had a lot in the freezer because I need to have ginger in my life. Okay, so all the vegetables are looking, can you see, nice and soft. So we are going to add in some chicken breast. This is fresh chicken breast, but you could use frozen chicken breast. It would be just fine. It would just take a couple extra minutes to come up to temperature and cook, but it would work just fine. And then I have 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Now, I normally would make my own right here in the quick cooker because I get chicken on sale on the bone, and then fill this with water and maybe an onion and a piece of garlic, and then I cook it down. Then I use the chicken for anything, keep it shredded in the freezer, and I keep the stock in the freezer. And then once I take the meat off the chicken, I re-cook the bones in with the water and the garlic and the onion again, so you can have even more broth. And yes, I'm adding a little bit more water because, like I said, this was not my own chicken stock. So pro tip, get this, keep it in your fridge. You will always need chicken stock for something, and you can mix this in with rice or with vegetables. And they have a vegetarian one as well. You could totally make this vegetarian, just eliminate the chicken and use a vegetable broth. But this stuff is so handy, and it adds just so much flavor. All right, so I'm gonna add this over to the side. And then our last ingredient before we put the lid on this baby is a tiny splash of fish sauce. Yep, just a tiny, tiny bit. And now we're gonna put the lid on this, set it off a sear, and the quick cooker has a soup stock setting. So I wanna hit time, and then I only wanted this to cook like 7 minutes. And the chicken will be done. You wanna make sure this lid is locked, and I'm just gonna hit start. And now this is gonna cook while I make caramel apple pizza. So let's go over to this counter. And yes, I just fed Tootsie, but obviously, you know, I'm on camera, so she wants to be with mommy. That's okay, we'll be done in a minute. All right, so caramel apple pizza. Move my things out of the way. This is an easy, very old recipe that my mom made us when I was a kid, and I have been addicted to my whole life. All right, get this apple stuff out of here. We're moving on to sweet. So it all starts on a large stoneware bar pan. Or not a bar pan, a pizza pan. You can use a bar pan. You can make this individual. You can do so many things with it. It's very basic. This is a roll of cookie dough. I spread it out on whatever cookie sheet, stone that you want. Spread it out thin, put it in the oven for 10 minutes, let it get golden brown, and let it cool. That's all this is. And then comes the fun part. We are going to take 2 Granny Smith apples, and you can use Honeycrisp, you can use I wouldn't use Red Delicious, I don't like those. They're too mealy. But there's some beautiful like pink lady apples would be good. Just something that's a little crisp, that has a little bit of a sour bite, but Granny Smith or Honeycrisp are number 1. So we're gonna use the apple core. I'm gonna put this flat, or this down, and this core goes into the apple, you turn it, and then when you take the core out, it opens up. So you're not like digging in there trying to get the core out of the apple. So I'm just gonna hold the apple, push down, give it a little turn, pull it out, and voila, done. This can go right in the garbage bowl or the compost. So this takes 2 large apples. If you're using a smaller apple, we lost the core. If you're using a smaller apple, of course you would need more. So, of course. And for those of you who are carving pumpkins right now, this is super cute to make like eyes or like mouths in your pumpkin. It's very handy. And you can also hollow out onions. I like stuffed onions. Might sound weird, but like when you have leftover stuffing for Thanksgiving, you can use your quarter to hollow out the beginning of an onion and like scoop it out except for the outer layer, and then stuff your leftover stuffing inside and then bake it in the oven with cheese on the top. It's really good. And put some gravy, maybe some cranberry sauce. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. So anyway, we have the apples. They are all hollowed out. And then I'm just gonna use my paring knife and cut them in half and lay them flat. I'm just going to slice them, not super thin, about like that. And we want them pretty uniform because this is going to look pretty on our pizza. We're gonna lay the apples all down on top. And yes, you probably could use the mandolin for this, but since I just used it for onions and peppers, I thought onions and peppers on pizza would be yucky. I mean, not normal pizza, but this pizza. So we'll quickly slice these up. And then, so they don't turn brown, because Mr. Teacher and I cannot eat all of this. I will be bringing it to school tomorrow, so Gateway friends, if you are watching, come down to my room when we don't have a meeting and come get a slice. So for this to last and stay fresh all night, I am putting them in some acidulated water. And all that means is cold water with lemon juice or a little bit of vinegar. You can even use a soda like Sprite if you have it. So I'm just gonna pop these in here and just let them sit for a couple of minutes while we do our pizza sauce, which is so good. I even sometimes just make this as a dip and eat it because it's that delicious. So we have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. And to that, we are going to add in about 1/4 of a cup of creamy peanut butter. You could also use crunchy peanut butter. And if you're allergic to peanuts, use almond butter, use sunflower butter, use whatever kind of nut butter you desire, or leave it out. But if you're not allergic to peanuts, use peanut butter. Okay, so about 1/4 of a cup. I am not measuring that. I will measure this, however. We need to cut the bottom off. So we're going to add in a little bit of brown sugar. I have buried my spoon. It's okay, I will eat that later. And then a splash of vanilla. And this is our double strength bourbon vanilla that is only out between October and December. So if you need some vanilla, you might want to stock up now. And then I'm just going to stir this up. If you forgot to take your cream cheese out of the refrigerator, like I kind of just remembered right before we got on here, you can always pop the cream cheese into the microwave for like 10 seconds and then give it a good stir, and then it will soften it up nicely. And I am using a low-fat cream cheese because we have enough fat going on in here. I would not use a fat-free cream cheese because it does not taste very good. And also, you could make it vegan. You could use a vegan cream cheese. I actually have some that are pretty tasty. And you're just looking to get everything incorporated. If it's not perfect, it's all right. So it'll look like this. And now we're gonna spread it onto our cooled pizza, or our cookie. And you do wanna make sure that the cookie is cooled, because if it's not, it's going to melt this right into the cookie and make it all soggy. This was probably one of the first things I remember my mom making us from Pampered Chef, because she used to be a consultant too. And then we got like super addicted to all things cookie pizza. So, I don't know. I just remember helping her all the time in the kitchen. And that's why I like to cook too. So get your kids in the kitchen. It's fun. It helps them to learn, to read, follow directions, do math. It's a good thing. Plus memories. All right, so I'm just spreading this out right to the edge. Leave that to eat later. And then we're going to put the apples on top. So I have my super absorbent Norwex towel. I'm gonna shake the apples off a little bit. Put them on here. Just kind of dry them off. I do not want a wet, soggy pizza for tomorrow. Meanwhile, our quick cooker is down to 5 minutes, so soup will be ready in 5 minutes. And now you can get as fancy with this as you want. I've done pizzas where I make sure every single slice is uniform and laid out like a gorgeous flower, or heck, you don't have time and you got some apples that are like not looking too hot. Dice them up and throw them on here. It's going to be fine. Alternate red and green if you want to. It's your pizza. Get creative. It's not gonna hurt anything. I am gonna be a little anal and put them all facing the same direction and kind of space them out evenly. Just a little. And there's so many cookie pizza recipes that you can make. We used to do another one, and it's one of my favorites too, for like Valentine's Day, with brownie as the crust, and then put cream cheese with vanilla and mix that up with a little bit of sugar, and then top it with sliced strawberries and raspberries. So good. Or like I make a summer fruit pizza on a cookie like this with cream cheese mixed with crushed pineapple. And then I like to top it with strawberries and mangoes. And that's really good as well. All right, so it's not 100% perfect, but it will do, right? And then we get to top this. Oh, I forgot. Caramel. Now, I usually make caramel in the quick cook or in the blender, but I ate it all. So I have this. So I'm just going to drizzle this all over the apples. And then I have some peanuts. Always keep chopped peanuts in here. This is the base to the manual food processor, and it has a lid. So I just chopped up a whole bunch at the same time, and then I store them in here because you never know when you're going to need chopped peanuts. And if I'm honest, I make the pizza sauce for this, the cream cheese and the peanut butter mixture with the vanilla, and I eat it with sliced apples and peanuts and caramel all the time as a snack. So if I'm not eating ice cream, I'm probably eating that. And then last but not least, this is optional, but apples and cinnamon and peanut butter and caramel cannot get any better than adding cinnamon on top. So I am adding some cinnamon, and I just don't know how I'm going to make myself wait to eat this until tomorrow. So again, Gateway friends, if there's a piece missing, I apologize. I might eat a piece after dinner tonight, but I will save you some because I cannot eat this all. So I am sprinkling cinnamon all over the top of this. You could also use our Cinnamon Plus, which is a mixture of several different seasonings similar to a pumpkin spice, but has a little bit of orange. But for this, I just wanted straight cinnamon. And again, this is one of the limited edition products that are only out from October until December. So there we have it. Caramel apple pizza. You know you want some, right? So I'm gonna put this over here and I'll put it in the fridge for later. And we're gonna get ready to finish up our soup because there's only 1 minute left on the quick cooker. So it really does cook fast. And like I said, it would cook a little bit slower if I had used a frozen chicken breast, which I have been known to do. I throw frozen meat in there all the time when I forget to take meat out. So let's do our garnishes for our soup. We need, normally I would put cilantro on here, but I don't have any, so I'm using a green onion. I'm just gonna chop the ends of that off, and I'm gonna save the root because I'm gonna plant this in my garden. The tops will regrow. Oh, our soup is done. The tops will regrow, so I just plant these and then I just have a slew of green onion tops in my garden. Save that for tomorrow. And while that beeped, let's add in our last ingredient, 2 cans of coconut milk. And these are the pop tops, so I do not even need the can opener. I got really scared before I came on here because I was like in the cupboard and I was like, oh my God, I don't have any coconut milk. I planned on making this and all I have is evaporated milk. How did this happen? And then I had to move some stuff around and I totally found it. Thankfully, or I was gonna have to send Mr. Teacher to the store for emergency coconut milk. All right, I hit the cancel button on here. I'm just gonna release the steam. This has a safety mechanism on it, so it will not open no matter how hard you try until the pressure has come down. So you do not have to worry about it exploding like the old pressure cookers of the past. It's not going to happen. Also, a feature that I really like is the steam goes that way and up, and it's not anywhere near the valve. So I'm not ever going to burn my hands. On top of that, this is all very, very insulated. So I'm not going to have to worry about my countertop cracking. I don't have to worry about burning myself. Everything is very nice and secure, all in this little package. On top of this being a fabulous pressure cooker, I can use this to, as a rice cooker. I can use it to proof bread. I can use it to make yogurt. I can use it, like I said, to make stock. I buy dried beans. There's a dried bean setting. There's no thinking. You just hit the button, turn the knob to whatever you need to cook, and it cooks it for you. And it also comes with a glass lid, so you can use it as a slow cooker. I don't remember if I said that or not. All right, so all the steam is gone, released. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this. Almost as much as the caramel apple pizza. I'm gonna dump the coconut milk in. Oh, I forgot one thing. I didn't dump the coconut milk in yet. We have to, can I do it with my thing? I can. I have to cut up my chicken while the coconut milk cooks. Okay, the silver bowl is hot. So, chicken, completely cooked, 7 minutes. I'm dumping in 2 cans of coconut milk. Let me not just dump, this is like the full fat stuff. There we go. I love coconut milk so much, oh my goodness. All right, 2 cans. And just so that the soup stays nice and hot while the coconut milk cooks, I'm gonna turn this back onto sear, just so that it keeps it hot. Give that a quick stir. And now let's cut up our chicken. So, if you're only doing a tiny bit of meat, my favorite thing to use, if you're only doing a little bit, if you're making a big old roast or a bunch of pork or something, you're gonna want the quick shred. But this is just a chicken breast. So I'm gonna use my salad choppers. I use these all the time because it's just the 2 of us. It is 2 razor sharp blades and they cut so fast, and it's got like this little scoop that scoops up the meat. So like you don't have to worry about cutting your hand. And normally I would just do this, honest to God, right in the quick cooker with the soup. But I wanted to show you, so it's a little harder to do in a tiny bowl because I don't want to slop it all over. But it's just really fast. And then these honestly go right in the dishwasher too. So you don't have to worry about cleaning them. And then I have like a little brush that these came with that makes it easy to get all the meat out. So these do work great for salad, but just for shredding meat, like it's my favorite thing. All right, so perfectly cut meat, dumping that back in the bowl or in the quick cooker. Give this a quick stir. one more quick stir while we do the rest of our garnishes. So we need some green onion, could use basil. That's all out inside, but I didn't feel like getting any of that tonight. We just have green onion in the fridge. Or cilantro. I can grow almost anything except cilantro. I don't know why. I try to buy cilantro. I try to grow it. I buy plants of cilantro over and over again, and no matter where I plant it, no matter what I do with it, it always dies. So I just buy cilantro and put it in the herb keeper and just let it use it. Keep it, chopped up in the freezer, because it's not worth me killing any more cilantro plants. And then I'm just doing some fresh jalapeno on that as well. Let's serve up our dinner. Right in that same bowl I cut everything. I'm going to get a big ladle of soup. Oh, I love this stuff. And then, I should show you, this ladle is great because Mr. Teacher doesn't like broth. I don't know. And I do. So the ladle has holes in it so I can drain off the broth for me to eat, and he can have all of the chicken and things. Okay, put some green onion on top, maybe some sliced jalapeno, and last but not least, I already have some cut limes because this is gonna be sweet and a little sour and a little spicy. Just the perfect combination of Thai food. Yay, easy peasy. And leftovers for tomorrow for lunch. So that's it. This is our tom kha soup in the quick cooker and a caramel apple pizza. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out or let me know below. I will post the recipes below once we are done eating dinner, because we really are eating this. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye.